Alright, here we go. 2004 4L60E. Valve body. Alright, you're gonna need basic flathead screwdriver, 10 millimeter and 10 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 10 and 8s. That's it. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through this. You might not be able to see everything, but you can see most of it. So I just rebuilt this transmission. The 3/4 went out. So right now I'm going to open up this valve body and I want to see if that check ball has stuck into the plate, the metal plate. Alright, here we go. Now I wouldn't advise, just putting the torque set on max, but I'm just using this real lightly. And I will not use this when I'm putting the valve body back. I'll use it to run the bolts down, but not to put a tightening on it. Okay, undo a couple of those. We'll get this wiring harness. Okay, slowly pry here, just to free that up. Okay. Just be real careful, because these connectors, especially once they've been in here for a while, they'll break pretty easy. So if you don't want to place the whole harness, just be very gentle, take your time. You might see me moving a little quick, only because I've done it plenty of time. So these three got to come up too. I usually leave this one tight for now. This one, I'm going to leave it on there a little bit. Oh, and a 13 millimeter. Okay. Now what you can do is you can usually drop them bolts into a pan. Keep track of everything. They're pretty easy to know where everything goes. I'll point you out. So the lower level bolts, you can see this one's higher. These are lower. The lower level ones will be shorter. These ones are pretty much all the same height, except for these lower level ones right here, these two. Okay, so just keep in mind, those are your two shorter ones. Alright, now we need a 8 millimeter for those two. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these up. These are longer. You see how tall? These are higher than these. So these are going to be your three tallest ones. Okay. And then your two number 8s. Of course, you'll know your two number 8s go right here and right here. Okay. 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. I usually just leave this one for the dipstick. Just leave it with it. Okay. Now we'll take off the last one. This thing should try to pop up. This is best to do it while it's flat on its back, because most of the check balls will stay in their place. I mean, you'll have some that will move, but most of them will stay. There's a lever over here as well. You'll see as we lift this up. Slide the lever out. Okay. I'm going to turn it over. Drop our 1 bolt. There's our valve body. Okay. So now, as you're starting out, you'll see check valve. 1, there's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So you can simply, what you can do is you can make little indentations, like a little X, okay, on the valve body itself. I like, because none of them are just worn out, where they've worn the hole. This one's a little worn. That one's a little worn. Those are good. Those are good. So you can actually grab the valve body like this, pretty much, and you can say, okay, this one was right here, X. Okay, let me look under here. 2 next to each other. So, and of course it's backwards, so we have to picture it laying like this. So these 2 up here are right here and right here. Okay, that middle one right here, and you can pretty much see where the slots are. This one, you can tell it's worn in here, so obviously that's 1. Okay, up here, so you'll see 1 goes in each of those slots. So 1 will go in here and 1 will go in here. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check this while we're here. This is our 1-2 shift. Want a real hard 1-2 shift. You can put stiffer springs in here. Got 2 of these bolts of the same size. Then your 3rd one, the tall one. Okay. Kind of twist. Or lift up. Everything might be trying to come out. Let me see. Nope. Okay. So you want to get your homeboys with a little bit of trick. You say, hey, is this part clogged up? Maybe squirt them in their face or something. But anyways. You want this piston to pop out, and you can't necessarily grab it, blow air in here, and all this will come out. Actually, it's pretty good in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this together. This is a super budget build, so don't knock me. Where you just charge them, you know, $900, fixes 2, 3, and send him on his way. Of course, people are gonna hate, but it doesn't bother me. Okay, these 3 bolts control your reverse. So if you do not tighten these back up, you will not have reverse. Or if you forget to put this plate on, you won't have reverse. This gasket always tries to come with it. You'll notice, let's see if I can show you some more. Alright, you'll see VB. That's your telltale indicator, okay? VB. That means this side is to the valve body. Okay? I'll show you in just a second. This is what I'm after, which is this plate. So what I'm going to do is, the only one that's really worn is this. Feel it on the other side. It's not even that bad. Let me just look at these other ones. That one's worn just a little bit. Pretty sure you can see it's a little bit shinier. I don't think I can even hammer that. So normally on a regular rebuild, you'd want to go ahead and spend $30 on this plate. But guess what? On this type of deal, I'm not going to. So this is our other gasket on the bottom. CA. CA. Right there. That means case. So that one is on the case. We're almost done here. Okay. And there's one check ball in the case. Okay. What I do is, normally I'll clean it off, blow it off, do all of that great stuff. Not doing that. Okay? So I'm gonna put a little grease. That's what you do when you assemble it. And you just put that there to make sure it doesn't fall. Okay, so I'm gonna get my fresh gaskets out. Got my package. Pretty sure this has plenty of pressure. And let me see. I kind of want this. This one you can blow air in that hole where it's coming out right here. You stick the air down in here and it'll pop this one up. I'm just gonna see if I can grab it. Like going to get the air. And that little rubber in there is keeping me from. control the 1-2. That spring, you want a firmer shift, place that spring down in here too. So I'm actually going to replace this little rubber on here, because I want them to be working nice and good. So I'll take this one off. I'm going to go to my kit. I'm going to find the one that matches it. And there it goes. I'm going to put it back on. Okay. Dab it up with some grease as I'm putting it back in, because I do not want to rip it or tear it. And we're going to pop it back down. Look at that, nice and firm. Alright, let's get our gaskets. CA. There's nothing really else we need to worry about in here. Just need to make sure that stays down. That's for your band. These ones that say V, the older 4L60s. So V and then C. Sorry, I know you can't see where the C is. C, we're not using those. We're using the CA and the VB, right? The LS stuff, CA, VB, okay? We're gonna lay our plate back down. See? Normally what I do is put those check balls on in the valve body and put them all in place with grease. But I'm just going to leave them right there for now. They're doing okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make our plunger fall back out. There. Make it fall back out. Grab in. Sideways. Like that. Then we're going to set it down. Right in place. Now, I'm going to take one of these valve body bolts, hold everything in place. Just going to run them down just a little bit. Just to keep stuff nice and still. Start dropping it back in. Longer, shiny one up here. Longer. Okay, 10s. I'm gonna look, hold them like this, see which ones are shorter. Here's these number 8. Here's the number 8. 2 8mm. All these bolts have to be in just a little bit before you start tightening anything down, really. You can do this with it standing up in the bucket, but I wouldn't recommend it because you'll be having to hold the valve body up, apply a ton of grease to get the check balls to stay in place. And I almost made a crucial mistake. Let me put my plate back on right now. Shift solenoid A. B. Okay. Like I said, I am rusty. Okay. Yeah, I gotta lift it. Okay. This is not one of them things where you want to get sidetracked. Be talking to your friends and you miss something. Let me see if I can get it to go. No. Let me loosen this a little bit. Alright, best I just pull it back off, recheck it. Okay. Alright, check ball still in place. I'm going to put one in up here just to keep this plate everything straight while I run these down. Okay, hand tighten just a little bit. Bam, bam, bam. They all need to be the same tightening. Now we just want to double check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Okay. Bolts in here just to keep it. Keep everything from sliding. Eight. that corner one for the dipstick. And it's definitely a shorter tin, so that's the other one. Okay, these two are same length. 1, 2. Alright. Alright, almost done. Now we're just gonna run stuff down. I'm not gonna put the tightening on it. I'm just gonna run down a little bit. Start on the inside, work your way out. Sounds bad, but it's not that bad. I got it on a really low setting. All these need to be the same. Yeah, I know you can use a torque wrench, but I was taught by hand. Just bam, that's it. That's it. That's it. See it? Not a long handle ratchet. You gotta check these 3 or 4 times. Do not want to miss one. And then you start bleeding pressure, losing pressure. Alright, so now I'm just gonna run back over them just to make sure. Okay, check these one more time. Okay, all right, chuck these back in. You do got to put some pressure on them. Okay, wipe this off. You can see the piece, the valve already trying to come out. Push that back in. Okay. All right, almost done. All right, now I'm gonna, let me see. This feels solid. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Plate wasn't in terrible condition. It was a little warm, but it wasn't horrible. Okay, so I'm gonna plug everything back up. Okay, voila. I'll put this back in. This is our TCC, torque converter clutch solenoid. Oh yeah, our number 13. We'll set it on park. Put it off to the side just a little bit so you can get it started. Bam, lift that up on there. Now when you're gonna give it a little oof. Put that one on there, okay? And park. Alright. Check it. Alright. Yes, sir. There it is. Alright. There it is. Just gotta put these 2 bolts. One more solenoid right there. Let me see if it's over here. Yep. More solenoid right here. But gotta put those bolts on first. And I'll put that in. Bam. Put this on. Filter and gasket. Done deal.